Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So, at the request of you guys, what I'm going to be doing now is 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Shane McMahon. Should be an interesting video, but before we watch it, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look.
Shane McMahon is a lot like Simba. He's the crown prince of a huge tribe of meaty beasts, and he's returned to rule the kingdom after an extended period of time in the wilderness. The only difference is that Vince McMahon cannot be killed by a trivial thing like a stampede of wildebeest. He would eat them first. Shane O'Mac has returned to the company for the first time in 6 years, and they want you to remember his crazy
Another
bumps,
2016
classic
video.
bouts
That's
with
cool.
the Big Show, Kurt Angle, and his dad. But for every treasured memory, there's something to keep hidden away in that red box. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Shane McMahon. Number 10, he snubbed WWE like crazy. Shane McMahon resigned from the company in October 2009 for reasons that we'll get into later. He's not the first McMahon to take a step back from the company. Linda did something similar during her 2 Senate races that went really well. Remember how well they went. However, even while campaigning, Linda still found time to be with her family for WrestleManias and SummerSlams, the 2 biggest shows of the year. Not so Shane-O.
He kind of had a company
the 2
to run.
biggest shows of the year, which is a huge deal considering that WrestleMania is like a son to Vince McMahon. Sure, Shane was running other companies like You On Demand and China Broadband, but still, ouch. Number 9, WWE almost murdered him.
Well,
you can forgive Shane for being a little testy with the company, considering that some bad admin, let's go right ahead and call it badmin, nearly broke his freaking neck. At King of the Ring 2001,
the street fight is so good.
Shane McMahon had one of the matches of the year. One that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that A, Shane McMahon is
Kurt
a
Angle
lunatic,
did that match
and
with a
B,
concussion
Shane McMahon
and a
is
broken
fucking
tailbone.
lunatic. In one of the most infamous botches of all time, Shane is set to be belly-to-belly suplexed through a sheet of white glass. This was supposed to be sugar glass, easy to break, simple and delicious. They accidentally installed plexiglass. It doesn't break, and Shane is dropped right onto his head. It's
Wonder how many people got fired.
to watch. Because McMahons are fed madness rather than breast milk at children, Shane told Angle to sod it, send him through the glass again, despite miraculously only sporting a massive concussion. The match is a classic, but WWE might want you to forget that Vince almost killed his son via some sloppy logistics. Number 8, his run on commentary. Remember when Sunday Night Heat was a TV show and not your bisexual calendar? It was actually treated fairly well back in the days before SmackDown, with the show pay-per-views especially receiving great coverage and some classic moments like Austin assaulting Vince whilst disguised as a cameraman. What people might not remember is that Shane McMahon was on commentary for the first few months of his existence, and he wasn't very good. His main thing was shouting. He was super into that. He hadn't yet found the natural McMahon OTT charisma and was a little out of his depth. With the list of accomplishments that Shane has, it's safe to say that his commentary career won't be one of them. Number 7, The Union. Now, this is just embarrassment by association more than anything, but anyone remember The Union? Thought not. When Shane took control of the corporate ministry, the wrestling equivalent of the
Up yours, I remember
a
that.
splinter group span consisting of a mad boy, a big boy, an angry boy, and Test. They carried 2x4s for no reason. Their name was The Union of People You Ought to Respect, Shane, or Up Yours. Ha ha ha, be still my aching balls. The Union versus Shane was not exactly Austin versus Vince, and a few months after being created, the team was quietly disbanded. Number 6, Rollerball. A lot of WWE superstars have appeared in movies over the last few decades. Some have done well, like John Cena and The Rock. Some have done badly, like The Big Show and The Big Show and The Big Show. But did you know Shane has been in the movie? Probably not, because it was a huge flop. The remake of Rollerball, which is about super gritty, mean and nasty rollerblading, came out in 2002 and stars Paul Heyman as a commentator.
That's awesome.
There he is. And also Shane McMahon. It's only a cameo, and even then, it makes no sense. He appears in one scene and just does this. That's it. He turns his head and looks at John Renault. What? In the credits, he appears as American Media Mogul, which I guess is a reference to him being high up in WWE Global Media? I don't know, 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, best left buried. Number 5, he wanted to buy UFC. One of the reasons why Shane eventually left his big dad's House of Lads and struck out on his own was that his proposals for big business ventures often fell on deaf ears within the company. Case in point, in the early 2000s, on more than one occasion, according to the Wrestling Observer, Shane pushed Vince to purchase the Ultimate Fighting Championship back when it was still affordable. I mean, God knows what UFC would have looked like under WWE leadership, probably a little less like this and a little more like this.
Or it just
Vince ignored his son's advice, and when Shane watched UFC explode in popularity, he must have been utterly seething. Number 4, Shane Stevens. Got to hand it to Vince. He didn't hand it to his kids. Both the McMahon Hellspawn had to work their way up through the company doing odd jobs for pennies. Stephanie used to model wrestlers' t-shirts for WWE magazine. Poor girl had to wear that. And Shane spent summers working in Stamford Warehouse, stuffing programs and shilling merch. And then he worked with the ring crews before eventually climbing the ladder one more time to referee. A referee called Shane Stevens. He ref during Survivor Series 89, Royal Rumble 91, and was a backstage official at WrestleMania 8, trying to stop Miss Elizabeth from coming down to ringside during the match between Ric Flair and Randy Savage. Bless his awful, awful bow tie. Number 3, he's the best of the McMahons to work for. Working for a McMahon is like working for a giant swarm of hornets. You're liable to feel their wrath sooner rather than later, and also hornets are bad at running wrestling companies. It's not exactly shocking to anyone seeing this photo that Vince is a slightly terrifying boss, and apparently Steph shares a few of his tendencies, once making an employee apologize to the locker room for using a wrestling insider term. But apparently, Shane was an
I believe it. If you look at any interviews, nobody has a bad thing to say about the dude.
Culture. Edit faster, Sam! F*** you! According to a former WWE employee talking to The Observer, Shane was the best boss of the four McMahons and, quote, no one in any other department will ever come close to the loyalty, genuine respect and bond Shane fostered with his staff. So welcome back, Shane, says Dad, but stop making us look bad, you piece of shit. Number 2, he was originally meant to run both WCW and ECW. Shane just wants to run a wrestling promotion, okay guys? That's all he wants. We all know that in kayfabe, Shane McMahon bought WCW back in 2001, but did you know that he was actually set to run it? WCW was going to be its own separate entity with Shane at the top before the Booker T Buff Bagwell match. To that.
But that's not their fault.
Shane. But before that, another plan for the Wonder Boy fell through as well. In 2000, Shane pressured Vince to buy ECW and let him run it as a separate company. But Vince, however, decided he would rather let the rabid dog die. Poor Shane. Then once again in 2005, after the success of the one-off ECW pay-per-view One Night Stand, Shane pushed for ECW to be brought back as an edgy, internet-only show run by him. Vince went a different way, and the WWE CW was born, and it was rubbish. Poor Shane. Number 1, he quit WWE because he wasn't heir to the throne. So
yeah, that's
messed around a lot over the years, and in 2009 it all came to a head when he walked out of the company. He was 39 years old at the time, which was how old Vince McMahon was when he put on his first WrestleMania. Shane, however, was nowhere near taking over the company like Big Vince had from his father. The power couple of Triple H and Steph had already begun to marginalize him, and when Linda McMahon stepped down as CEO of the company to pursue her political career in September 2009, some could see this as Shane's moment to ascend. However, Vince named himself CEO instead, and 1 month later, Shane had resigned. I leave it to you to work out why. The decision caused a huge amount of tension, and Shane missed many WrestleManias and SummerSlams in the following years. But now he's back. Will he be back for good, or is this one last favor for his old man before disappearing again, maybe forever?
Alright guys, well yeah, that was an interesting video. I greatly appreciate the suggestion to watch that. And in the video, I do apologize about the doorbell. I have no idea why somebody rang it. We keep to ourselves. We live in a very secluded, like, emo neighborhood, so it kind of caught us off guard, as you can probably understand. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said before, like the video, subscribe, comment if you want to, and I'll see you for the next one. Alright, bye.